It's still daybreak, and it's time for us to take a look at stories that made it to the front page of our daily list. Kicking off first, let's take a look at Daily Trust. Boldly on Daily Trust there. Tinubu's aides Atiku's coalition bicker over defections. And on the top, Nigerians to become poor in 2027, says World Bank. NEC differs deliberation on state police amidst worsening insecurity, and striking FCT workers besiege minister's office. Wike blast council chairs. On World Malaria Day, funding freeze, high treatment cost heighten Nigeria's malaria burden. There is a picture there showing how much families spend on treating malaria on an average. The cost burden is a lot, and it's just right there. So do also grab yourself a copy and keep yourself informed. Now moving on to Guardian. On Guardian newspaper this morning, how market realities expose weak business models, growth illustration. Startup development funding is a pictorial to show that stuck in a unicorn graveyard. And a Northeast stabilization plan may go up over 128 trillion naira as agency begins review. 54.3% of Lagos students failed WAEC in 2024, says government. Still on The Guardian, more PDP governors will defect. Ganduje vows as Damagum Sarki orders downplay crisis. World Bank needs better fiscal contract with citizens to reduce poverty. World Bank says Nigeria needs better fiscal contract with citizens to reduce poverty. And setback looms in 11 states as U.S. halts $73 million yearly anti-malaria aid. Ibashon's rep invitation attends NEC meeting, and Lagos investors delight Sanwo-Olu, stays at Harvard. All right, those are the stories we have on Guardian. Do well to grab yourself a copy and keep yourself informed. We have our reviewer this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you. So let's kick off with the confidence from the opposition. They are confident that the defections didn't affect them. But what's your take on the defections that have happened? The governors moving from the PDP to the APC, and there's still projections there are a lot more to come. What is your take? Did you see this coming?
Yes, it's not totally surprising. We experienced something in 2013, you remember. We had some PDP governors, about 5 of them, with the then vice president, our presidential candidate, Atiku, moved to form what is now APC, you remember. But it's unfortunate that 25 years after, we are still at this stage. We are politicians. We are democracy, as far as majority of Nigerian politicians are concerned, is how to get elected. That's the problem. When Lillian misses opportunity in PPP, you cross carpet to SDP to what? Just to grab power. You understand? This 26th year of democracy stretch from 1999, but we are still at this stage. Mushrooming the entire space into one party state is not good for everybody, including the ruling party itself. If they really mean good for Nigeria. Democracy is about competition. It's about alternatives. You understand. But when you maroon everything into one party or what have you, it's not good. We need a vibrant opposition to keep those in power in check. But if you look at what is happening, actually, any observer will think that things are not the way they should. The labor unions, who were hitherto strong voices, are no longer there. Nobody is talking about NLC. Being ASU itself, for instance, the Academic Staff Union, which has been the most vibrant even when NLC was in crisis, is no longer there. Now we're talking just the political parties. And now you can see they are moving in tropes. This one has EFCC case, this one has this one, and So it's not good for democracy itself. And Nigeria is not longer become a shining example in democratic rule. But more importantly, we should be conscious of what we do. Let's look at what happened to our neighbors. Yeah, you may say these neighboring nations are smaller in terms of number, economy, and what have you. But Nigerians share the same things with those populations, particularly those in the Sahel. So whatever the politicians are doing, they should be conscious of what happened to our neighbors. We have invested so much in this democratic dispensation. Now to mushroom the whole thing into one party state, it's not even good for the ruling party. But more importantly, about 2 years to the next election. Why the rush? Why the rush? And majority of the dramatic personnel now were there where Abacha was there. You remember what happened? We had 5 political parties. Suddenly, surprisingly, they all adopted the damn military despots as their sole presidential candidate. The rest is history. So we should be conscious of all these things, particularly for the Commonwealth of Nigerians. We are doing democracy, not a military rule.
All right. Still on Daily Trust now. NEC, the National Executive Council, had their meeting yesterday, and they spoke about a revamping of textile industry and all of that. But they deferred deliberation on state police amidst the level of insecurity in the country. What do you make of that? Due to time constraint.
That's funny. Maybe constitutionally, the NEC should not meet more than for one day, or the meeting cannot stretch into the night. Yeah, there are issues regarding state police. There are issues regarding state police. Come to think of it, what exactly is the problem? Is it that the local government chairman, the state governors are not in charge of the security apparatuses in their state? The banditry, all manner of insecurity challenge is popping up? Or is it that we don't have enough manpower? Oh yes, the manpower is there, but we don't have enough hardware. Oh no, we have enough hardware, but they are not well trained to handle those hardware. Or is it about the intelligence failure, gathering failure? These are the issues. In a situation whereby, okay now, you want every governor to have state police, right? Good. Look at what they are doing with their vigilante. Look at what the state governors are in control of the federal police that we're talking now. You can only lose control if you are at loggerhead with the center. So maybe by the time we ask them to have state police, maybe the law has to specify the type of weapons they will handle and their limit of engagements. Maybe they will equally ask them to have some element of military forces. Should that be the case? So we should look at the whole thing holistically.
All right, before we'll actually run out of time, but so quickly in a minute, World Bank is coming to that Nigerians, would experience more poverty in 2027. And, we had a lawmaker who was there and said they need to make use of more statistics in giving their projections. But what does this projection mean to a country that we can see that reforms are being put in place? Although poverty has been experienced, a lot of people are going through it, but coming out to say this again, what do you make of that?
It's not surprising. Why? Just look at one of the reforms. The removal of subsidies, for instance. It has taken people from age back to poverty. It has changed the way people live, you understand? Even in the urban cities, even the federal capital, for instance, there are ministries that workers go to work once in a week, some twice in a week. You understand? Not to talk of other things. So, what the IMF is, World Bank is saying, yeah, it's reality. The standard of living has nosedived, you know,
Okay.
purchasing power, inflation, you know, and what have you. But the reforms have just taken place in the last 2 years. So we hope that before the first part, maybe
we'll see a difference.
We'll see a difference. This thing will be reversed.
Indeed. Well, we're watching,
so.
And we hope that Nigerians will have better quality of life as opposed to what the World Bank is projecting. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish we had a lot more time to extend on so many conversations and topics on the papers, but thank you for throwing deeper insight to the topics we had this morning. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners, I hope you've been able to pick something from the show this morning. We've come to the end of Daybreak. Well, let's do this again tomorrow for Daybreak Extra, but I will see you again, same time, same station, through the course of the day. Have a great day ahead. Bye for now.